174. Let the truth be told. This program will help you undo financial bondage. Homeownership is usually touted as the foundation for and means for all Americans to build wealth. However, those misinformed about the costs of homeownership, including monthly mortgage payment, upkeep, property tax increases, repairs, renovations, etc., generally have not become wealthy. Many are as debt-laden as many renters, having purchased more home than they can truly afford. Not to mention, many of their mortgages are severely underwater, owing far more to the banks that hold them than the homes are worth. It's not automatically true that owning a home makes you wealthier or will do so in the future. Believing this lie that it does and acting upon it without first counting the true cost of home ownership will cost you dearly, as it has many millions of people in the past. Believing the lie will move you to do anything to get a house, like accepting predatory lending terms with high interest rates and costs. It will also lead you to believe you can afford what the banks say you can afford, rather than you making an honest assessment of your finances to know what you can truly afford while building and maintaining a large emergency fund cushion to handle unforeseen homeownership costs and other emergency life situations that may require large outlays of cash in the future. Homeownership can be great when you truly can afford the home you're going to purchase. It can bring peace from apartment neighbors making noise bouncing off the walls, and it could provide more space to entertain friends. Yet, for many millions of people, it is not as financially fantastic as the pundits make it seem. The 10 to 35% federal income tax deduction that one may be able to use with regard to mortgage interest and property tax payments is only useful to the extent that your itemized deductions are greater than the standard deduction for your filing status. The majority of homeowners, therefore, do not itemize deductions. All the maintenance, repairs, and renovations will not bring greater return for most people given the amount of principal and interest they will pay on the home equity loans and second mortgages they acquire to do these things. You would say no if I offered you the great deal of giving me $10,000 so I can hold on to it and then next year return to you only $3,500. You should think of home ownership in the same way. So you are totally realistic regarding your financial situation being currently able to handle home ownership. It's always best to have absolutely no debt and cash needed to purchase a home outright. This alone would help people be much more reasonable about a home purchase. However, if you believe home ownership is worth obtaining a loan to make it a reality, then you should follow a few simple rules. Pay off all other debt. Build at least 6 months of emergency income as a reserve, and also put away enough money in a savings to make a 20% down payment at closing. Inventory your work environment to ensure you are not subject to bouts of unemployment or reduced monthly income within the few years surrounding a home purchase. Remember, approximately 100% of foreclosures are a result of the purchaser's inability to continue paying mortgages or property taxes. Look to buy a house in an area where the history of home ownership shows steady price appreciation over the last 10 to 20 years, unless the Holy Spirit has specifically told you to move to a particular neighborhood for ministry purposes. Only obtain a low-interest 15-year fixed-rate mortgage and seek to have enough extra cash flow to pay it off much sooner than 15 years. Do not purchase any house where the monthly payment, including principal, interest, property tax, and insurance, would require more than 28% of your monthly gross income. If you will act prudently to do these things, you will likely find homeownership to be very kind to you, eventually leading to lower average monthly costs than being a long-term renter, and it will not stand in the way of building wealth the Lord wants you to engage in. Remember, homeownership is not the key, and being a renter is not a disadvantage. Wealth building is accomplished by honoring God with the first fruits of your income, by continually keeping monthly expenses well under monthly net income, by pursuing debt freedom, and by saving and investing excess cash flow over long periods of time, 10, 20, 30 years, etc., in vehicles that pay and cause your money to grow at higher levels than regular savings accounts and CDs. Please pray for this ministry and email questions to parlor@ameritech.net and share the links below with others who could use helpful financial insight. May the Lord bless you richly as you follow His plan.